All right, so we are looking at a new topic, which is the depreciation. So we want to look at the depreciation. So when we talk about depreciation, I think depreciation is one of the terms in accounting which is muchly used when it comes to assets and also when it comes to issues to do with as allowances. So, and in our daily lives, we always talk about depreciation. I remember a few days ago, someone was saying that an individual has rapidly depreciated. So I was trying to understand the context in which he was referring to a person as to having depreciated. But I realized that even human beings, to some extent, we tend to deteriorate or depreciate. But the good news is that the depreciation we are looking at this evening is to deal with the assets. So when we talk of assets, we have got what we call tangible assets and as well as the intangible assets. So when it comes to assets, we are saying that depreciation is the decrease in the book value of an asset. Or in short, we are saying it is the loss of value of an asset in the long run. So, or in other terminologies, we can say depreciation is the decrease in value of an asset over time due to time usage, tear and wear, and well as the obsolete. So, you find that one of the assets which do not depreciate is the actually land. Land is one of those assets which appreciates over time. So if you bought land today, 10 years from now, that land would have gained in value. Even if you have done nothing on that land, but as long as at least it has documentation and you have kept it well and you keep on visiting the land to see no one has actually encroached in your land, after 5-10 years from now, that land will actually appreciate. So we are saying that the only asset that appreciates in value over time is actually land. Now, we are saying also on the other hand that as much as we may have assets which appreciate, we also have assets which depreciate over time. Having defined depreciation as the loss of value of an asset over time, we are saying we have assets. For example, when we talk of tangible assets, we can say a vehicle. A vehicle is one of an asset, especially in firms, which tends to depreciate over time. And another example are equipments. Today, when a firm buys an equipment, after 5-10 years, that equipment may lose value. And this loss of value is attributed as a result of one may be tear and wear, and two may be as a result of usage, and three may be as a result of obsolescence. So when we say obsolescence, we are simply saying some assets lose value because they become outdated. An example of an asset which today are out of use or have become outdated are typewriters. When you go in offices today, a typewriter is no longer useful because of the new technologies which have emerged over time. So from that, we have simply defined depreciation as a decrease in the book value, as a decrease in the book value. So what is a book value? So for example, when you buy today your vehicle, the cost of that vehicle, say for example, it is at 200,000. That cost, we are saying it is the book value at that particular time you buy it. So if in year one, that vehicle, from the date you bought it in year one, it was at 200, and you start using that vehicle, due to tear and wear, and due to time, vehicles each and every day, new models are coming out. So that vehicle will begin to depreciate or lose value. So when we come into a second financial year, when we want to actually look at the value of that vehicle, obvious, it would have lost its value. You cannot sell that vehicle at the same cost you would have bought it at the first year. So that is what we are saying, a decrease in book value. So when we talk of depreciation, there are so many types we actually use to calculate depreciation, if not 4 or 5. But for the sake of our learning, we are going to focus on 2 types of depreciation. So the 2 types of depreciation which we are going to look at, the two types of depreciation. We'll look at what we call the straight line method. Look at what we call the straight line method to calculate depreciation. Then we also look at what we call the reducing balance method. The reducing balance method. Okay, so when you talk of the straight line method, so let's talk about the straight line method. Straight line method. So under the straight line method, we normally say the value of an asset is reduced uniformly. So we normally say the value of an asset, is reduced uniformly. So under straight line method, we are simply saying that the value of an asset is reduced uniformly. So what this means is that over each and every period, until it reaches its salvage value. So the book value reduces in a straight line method until an asset reaches what we call its salvage value. So
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, I can't see the screen. I don't know if it's just me or even others are experiencing the same.
How it is just the one me I am able to see.
No, okay, well done.
okay, try to log out.
The
You
screen is
can
clear.
proceed, Jen.
Are you able to see? Hello?
Yes.
No, not yet. Let me try to log out, then I
Yes, please.
log in.
Okay, so we are saying that uh, each period it continues to lose and its salvage value. So we are saying salvage value. So this salvage value is the same as this scrap value. So we are saying the value of an asset is reduced uniformly until it reaches its salvage value or scrap value. So what is a salvage value or what is a scrap value? So when we say a scrap value of an asset, we are simply saying the value at the end of the lifespan of an asset. So today we were saying if an asset was bought at a book value, we said the vehicle which we are looking at as an example, you bought it at 200,000 kwacha. Then after 5 years, because of tear and wear, because of time, the vehicle would have depreciated or lost its value. Then the amount at which now that asset can be sold is what we are now saying after its useful lifespan. The, the amount which that asset can now be sold is what we call the salvage value or the scrap value. So an example is say an equipment. A firm, for example, when a firm buys an equipment, after an equipment can have, for example, 10 years of its useful lifetime. Then after 10 years, we expect maybe that equipment to start giving us problems, issues, and so forth. And you know, when equipment start giving you problems, it becomes costly to start maintaining that equipment. It's better that that equipment you now write it off. So that value at the end of the lifespan of an asset, it is what we are calling the scrap value. So for example, this asset we are looking at, which is a vehicle, we are saying the value of this vehicle when you bought it was at 200,000. Was at 200,000. And you are saying this is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and this is year 5. So then we are saying that at year 1, the value of this your vehicle is at 200,000. Then because of we have talked about tear and wear. As long as an equipment is being used, a machine, there is that tear and wear. So because of tear and wear and because of time, the value every year that vehicle loses its value. So we say in year 2, the vehicle becomes, instead of 200,000, maybe it comes to 150 in value. So that is now at year 2. Then in year 3, the vehicle again loses its value. Maybe it comes to 100,000 because of tear and wear. Then in year 4, the vehicle comes to 50,000. Then you say the moment it reaches 50,000, you decide to actually sell it. So this, let me do this. So you can see that this depreciation is following a straight line. Have you seen the straight line? It is actually following, moving in a straight line. So even at year 4, would say maybe the value will come at 25,000. I mean at year 4, and you decide to sell it. So this method is called the straight line method because the value depreciates in a straight line. So when it comes to depreciation, we are talking about what we are saying, annual depreciation. So when we are calculating our depreciation, we are calculating it in annual terms. So we are saying we are calculating our depreciation in annual terms. Okay. Okay. So we're saying annual depreciation expense. So we're saying annual depreciation expense. So this is an expense. So we are saying ADE is equal to cost. Let me open a new page. This one is skipping.
Sorry, sir, before you go to the formula, what did you say about the semi-annual depreciation?
Okay. So we are simply saying we are calculating our depreciation in terms of time as in annually, as per annual. So that's what I'm saying. Our depreciation now we are calculating it as per annual. So that asset, it's losing its value in terms of annual, which is in short per year. So that's what I'm saying, annual. I'm saying annual depreciation. So annual depreciation expense. So we're saying annual depreciation expense, abbreviated as ADE, is equal to cost of the asset, cost of asset minus scrap value or salvage value. So minus scrap value or salvage value. So you can put either scrap value or salvage value over useful lifespan. Over useful lifespan. So if we are calculating our annual depreciation for an asset, we are simply getting the cost of an asset. So we are saying the vehicle, which is our hypothetical example, we are saying it was costing us at 200,000. Then we are saying the scrap value. Now this, we said the scrap value. This is now the estimated value after the lifespan of this vehicle, which would want to sell it. We said it will come. It is a 25,000. Then we are saying this vehicle would work for us at least for 4 5 years. So
So Bianca is failing to join. Bianca is failing to join.
let me. Okay. She's failing to join in the meet
Yes.
via the same link.
I think so. I can see the message in this group.
Okay. Okay. So I want to see if she'll be in. I've written something on the group. Okay. So we are saying our hypothetical example, we are saying the vehicle costed us 200,000 to procure it or buy it. Then we say after the lifespan of this vehicle, after 4 years, the scrap value of this vehicle or the salvage value will be, we said will be 25,000. Yes. So then we said the useful lifespan of this vehicle, we are saying it's 4 years. So we are saying this is equal to 200 minus 200 minus 25,000, that is 175. That is 175,000 over 4. Then 175 divided by 4 to give you what? To give you 43,750. You wanted to say something?
No, it's fine, sir.
I mean, it's not fine. 200,000 minus the 25,000. My calculator is giving me something here.
200,000 minus 170 minus 25,000. What is it? What are you getting?
Minus, minus 25,000.
Yes, please. Okay, let's talk in terms of money.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
if you have a 200, you
No, I'm
remove a
here, sir.
25.
No, my calculator misbehaved.
No, this one you don't even
I'm
need a
there, sir.
calculator. Just think of in terms of money. So if you have a 200, you go and look right and spend a 25. You will definitely know.
Yes, sir.
the amount will remain.
Ah,
Yes.
my mind is occupied.
I know.
Tired.
Okay, no, don't worry. We'll be able to walk through this together. Okay, so we are saying, we are now saying, therefore, so we can now say, therefore, the we can now say, therefore, the annual depreciation for a vehicle for 200,000 is what vehicle could it be? A Mark X? No. It's a Ford. For Ford car, the annual depreciation for Ford car is 40,750. So meaning, what this means is that this Ford car, every year that passes by, it loses this value of 400 or 43,750. So from our formula, which I've given you, we said we are saying the salvage value. So from our formula, which I've given you, you can say the salvage value or the scrap value. Salvage value or the scrap value. The salvage value or the scrap value is a value of an asset at the end of its useful lifespan. So I explained this to you to say salvage value or scrap value is, so now let me write it for you so that you can also write. So we are saying is the value, salvage value or scrap value is the value of asset. It's the value of an asset at the end of its useful useful life. Okay, so that's what simply we are saying by salvage value. Then we are saying also that the costs of asset, so the cost of asset in the formula, simply saying the cost of asset is the purchase price of an asset. So we are simply saying it's the purchase price of an asset. Okay. So when we are also calculating depreciation under straight line method, we also need to know how to calculate the rate. So we are saying the rate is actually the rate at which this asset may be depreciating. So yes, so we are going to say depreciation rate depreciation rate. So this is depreciation rate is for the straight line method. So we're saying depreciation rate is equal to annual depreciation annual depreciation annual depreciation, then over cost of asset, and over costs of asset minus the salvage value. I'll see salvage value. So we are saying the rate is calculated in percentage form. So remember that the rate is calculated in percentage form. That is the rate. So that is the formula you have to use if you are calculating the depreciation using the straight line method. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to copy the question I had posted in the group. Just trying to copy and paste. Now, this WhatsApp of mine is not responding. Let me try to close it and see if it will respond. So just a moment as we look at this example. Okay, so I pick it that you have your WhatsApp. So let me just read the question for you. It's like my WhatsApp may drag us a bit. Yeah, it's dragging, so it will really drag us for some time. It's failing to. Okay, I think we are in now. It's failing to bring content, but now seems it's able to give us the content. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so it's saying a company A purchases a machine for $100 with an estimated salvage value of $20,000 and a useful life of $500. So we are asked to calculate the annual depreciation. So we are told to calculate the annual depreciation. So are saying annual depreciation annual depreciation AD, we are saying it is equal to cost of an asset minus the scrap value over useful life useful life. Okay, so from the question we have the cost. The cost of an asset, of this asset, which is a machine, is $100,000. As the question is saying, company A purchases a machine for $100,000 with an estimate salvage value of $20,000 and a useful lifespan of 500. So say equals we say equals our cost is 100,000, then minus we are told our salvage value is 20,000. Then we are told that our useful life is 5 years. So what is the annual depreciation AD? So 100,000 minus 20, that is 80,000. Then 80,000 divided by 5 years, that is what is 80,000 divided by 5?
16,000.
16,000. So annual depreciation AD is now 16,000 kwacha. So what this means is that the company would depreciate the machine at the amount of, we are calculating in dollars, so let this one be in dollars. Let this one be in dollars. So we are saying, so we can say therefore, you can write, say therefore, the company would depreciate the machine at the amount of $16,000 annually for 5 years. So say therefore the company would depreciate the machine at the amount of $16,000 annually for 5 years. So that now becomes your conclusion.